Okay, hello. We are waiting for waiting for more people to come on. We are running a little late. We were trying to wait to see what the president was going to say about. Hey, John, Alan, Jeff. People are coming on early. Hello, hello, hello. So we wanted to come in and talk today about things that are going on this Saturday, January 19th. Today in Cleveland, we had the Women's March across, not only in Cleveland, but across the country. So I was not able to make it to ours here in Cleveland. So I wanted to hear and see what people thought who went or viewed it on social media or TV. What did they think about today's Women's March? And then Martin Luther King Day coming up on Monday. I'm set to give a speech on that day. And then the government shutdown. What people think about that? How are they being affected? I have a story to tell about a government worker who is being asked to work, and she actually came to our food bank a couple of weeks ago, and we were able to sit down and have a conversation. So I want to tell a little bit about that story. Hey, Jeff. Hey, John. In a minute, I will have up the phone lines will be up so people can call in. I want to hear from you. What are you going through? How is the government shutdown affecting you? What are you doing for Martin Luther King Day? Did anybody attend the Women's March today from anywhere in the country? I especially want to hear from people who went to the one in downtown Cleveland. I caught some of the pictures and some of the imagery. It looked great. I was unfortunately not able to make it, but we certainly will make it next year. So, just some housekeeping things. As I alluded to earlier, Martin Luther King Day, I will be giving a speech at the Martin Luther King Extravaganza 2019. That'll be Monday, January 12th, from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Please come out. Doors open at 2:30. It'll be at the Black on Black Crime Inc. headquarters, 15415 Kipling Avenue, Cleveland, Ohio 44110. The subject matter will be, what would Dr. King, oh, I'm sorry, would Dr. King be proud or disappointed in Black leadership in Cleveland, Ohio? That will be the backdrop. So I'll be giving my speech along those lines. Like I said, in a minute, we'll be opening up phone lines and you'll be able to call in and we can have a conversation. Quickly, in regards to the government shutdown, and I talked about a minute ago that I met a young lady who is one of the she's not laid off because she's called essential government employees. She's called an essential government employee. Waving to the people on IG. She's called an essential government employee, and she was laid off. When I met her, it was the Friday after they got the paychecks with 80 hours on them, but a $0 amount. So I caught up with her by chance at the Phyllis Cleveland War Club meeting, and she indicated in that meeting that she was one of the laid off workers, not laid off. She was one of the essential workers, so she was working but not getting paid. Excuse me. So I sat down and had a conversation with her because at our food bank we did before we got started we did a Q&A session because people had questions about food, their SNAP benefits, housing, where income tax is going to be processed. So we decided to do a Q&A. And one of the things we came across was that people believed that government workers were going to be okay and had money saved up and they were just going to be fine. And as I sat down to talk to this young lady, her husband was there, by the way, but I didn't talk to him. So as I sat down with her and we talked about it, she let us know that she exhausted her budget where she could not afford to receive another paycheck with a zero balance. So that was a real interesting conversation, and my hat went off to her and her service. So I want to hear from people like that. I want to hear those stories so we can get those stories out there so people can understand that people are suffering out there. Those government workers don't have it all together, and they need to be back to work. So what I decided to come up with is sort of some information, and we'll post this on our social media platforms. Um, I am of a group of food banks that are in the greater Cleveland area, and three that I work with closely. One which is mine. So we are going to. We're already open on these days, so it's not really anything special that we're doing. But we want to let government workers who are either furloughed, laid off, or working for no money that they can come on these days and get food and whatever other resources that we have. So the first one is We Care Outreach Ministry that is at the historic Greater Friendship Baptist Church, 12305 Arlington Avenue, Cleveland, Ohio 44108. Their food bank will be February the 7th. Doors open at 9 a.m. till 11 a.m. Amos Berry is the director over there at We Care Outreach Ministry, so they will be open on I believe that's the first. No, I'm sorry. Is that the first? That's the first Thursday of February. First Thursday of February. Then my food bank, Master Generosity Unlimited, at Mount Gilead Missionary Baptist Church, 7025 Cedar Avenue, Cleveland, Ohio. That will be the second Saturday of February. We open at 9 a.m. We go from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. So that is the ninth. That's the ninth of February. Then there is Harvard Square Center, 13510 Harvard Avenue, Cleveland, Ohio 44108. I don't know if that area code is right, 44108. But they will be open the second Tuesday of February. Their hours are 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. So it's about the same time frame. So if you need resources, go to these events. Lester DeVise is the CEO over at Harvard Square Center. So feel free to visit any one of these food banks if you need help. And again, this information will be posted on our social media, all of our social media platforms. Um, then secondly, there was questions about at least here in Ohio, the SNAP benefits. So we wanted to get information out on that. So SNAP benefits were given out. The February benefits were given out early. They were given out this month in January. So people who got benefits early, you will not get any benefits in February. So you have to make those. You have to make those last. You have to make those last. Because you won't get any benefits in February. So um, it's a lot of stuff going on. This shutdown is affecting people in many ways. We just want to get the most accurate information out there. Don't know when a into the shutdown will come and when it will come. So if you got SNAP benefits, please make those stretch because we don't know when more benefits may or may not be coming. So I want to say hi to everybody who's signing in on IG and everybody who's in on our Facebook. So today, again, we're going to come in and talk about the Women's March today. What are you doing for Martin Luther King Day on Monday? What does that mean to you? And the government shutdown. Government shutdown. So with the government shutdown, we want to use hashtag in the shutdown. Hashtag in the shutdown. Let's start tweeting that out, posting that out. Hashtag in the shutdown. We need this shutdown to end. So in a minute, we're going to open up the phone lines. Our phone line number is 1216 673 4408. 1216 673 4408. Now, we don't have the ability to screen phone calls, so we're not going to answer um, unknown calls or any calls that are blocked without seeing the phone number. And then if somebody starts talking crazy, we're just hanging up instantly. So just so you know, not taking any weird phone calls. We don't have the ability to screen, but if the conversation is weird, we're just hanging up. or if you call with a block number, we're not going to answer. So those phone lines will open up in a second. That number is 216, I'm sorry, 1216 673 4408. 216 673 4408. You can call in at that number. So, with that, we just want to open up and see. Let's get some questions on. John, do you have a question on Facebook? Jeff, do you have a question? A comment? Send it in. I know you guys are saying hey. I'm saying hey back. Instagram, do you have any questions? Okay, no question. Yeah, I just got people signing in. So just give us your questions. I want to hear like what happened. What were people's thoughts about the Women's March in downtown Cleveland? If you went or anywhere in the country, we have friends all over. We know marches took place in Washington and all over the country. So we want to hear what's going on with that. As we said at the top when we came on, I will be giving a speech on Monday for Martin Luther King Day. Um, at the Martin Luther King Extravaganza 2019. The event starts at 3 p.m., goes to 6 p.m., doors open at 2:30. That address again is 15415 Clifton Avenue, Cleveland, Ohio, 44110. Councilman Conwell will be there as well. His band will be playing and they'll have many other speakers. So I invite anybody to come out and let's celebrate Dr. King's Day together. The backdrop for that, the question that we're answering is, what would Dr. King? I mean, would Dr. King be proud or disappointed in African American leadership in Cleveland, Ohio? So that is what I will be speaking to. So I invite you all to come out and engage. Come out and engage. And so also too, we want to hear what's going on with the government shutdown. How's that affecting people? Feel free to call in. The call-in number is 216-673-4408, 216-673-4408. Feel free to call in. The lines are now open, so feel free to call in. And just know when you call in, we'll be right on the air. So we just want to know what's going on. What are people doing for the weekend? What are you doing for Martin Luther King Day? How do you feel about the government shutdown? Do you have any questions? If I can answer them, I will. So with that, like I said, lines are open. Call in. And so I said we had our food bank on the second Saturday of this month, and we had some government employees that were either working and not getting paid, furloughed, or laid off, and it really, really touched my heart. So we've extended a welcome to those government employees who we stand by with this group of three food banks that I'm associated with, one of them being mine. So I'm going to give that information again and again. We'll have this posted up on our social media platforms. The first one is We Care Outreach Ministry at Greater Friendship Baptist Church. That address is 12305 Arlington Avenue, Cleveland, Ohio 44108. That will be on the first Thursday of the month, so February the 7th of next month. You can go there if you need resources. Ronald Berry is the CEO over there. He'll be happy to help you out. The second one is My Food Bank, which is Master Generosity Unlimited out of Mount Kinley Missionary Baptist Church. That address is 7025 Cedar Avenue. That one will be the second Saturday of February. We open at both of these open at 9 a.m. and end at 11 a.m. We're happy to have anybody who wants to come and get free and get that food. We work closely with the food bank. We always have great products. So we want to thank the food bank because that partnership has been great. The second one will be the Harvard Square Center. That address is 13502 13501 sorry, 13510 Harvard Avenue, Cleveland, Ohio, 44108. I'm sure that zip code is incorrect. So I'll get the correct one. That is the second Tuesday of the month, and then they are open from 9 a.m. to from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. If I was you, I would get there early. People start lining up. At least I know at ours they start lining up at like 7 a.m. So luckily we have 5 stations where we can register people. So our registration moves pretty quickly. So does Ronnie's. So does Lester's. We all are on the pantry track system. So we register people through a computer system. So it makes it move fairly quickly. So you're not there that long. If you're coming, make sure you bring something to carry food in. We tend to give away a lot of food, and so do the other two. So if you're elderly, bring somebody with you that can carry product. I would suggest you drive if you can. If you're on the bus, make sure you bring bags and stuff so you can carry your food. So again, we are extending this to any government employee who's either laid off, furloughed, or working for no money because we are there to assist you and we stand with you. So again, we're open to taking the calls. That phone number is 216-673-4408. 216-673-4408. We're talking about the Women's March, Martin Luther King Day, and the government shutdown. What do you think about those things that are going? Feel free, Facebook, to pose any questions, post any comments. Same thing on IG. Feel free to ask any questions, post any comments. So we're gonna try to invite some people here. We do see what happens. See what happens. I know you can hear the news in the background 'cause I'm trying to stay abreast of what's going on with everything because things are moving like really quickly. Things are moving really quickly. So again, feel free to post any questions. Feel free to post any questions. If you have any comments, Antoinette Willis, ask the question. Ask the question. Feel free. Feel free to receive any question. Okay, I'm missing the question. Join. Hey, hey, hey. No, my timeline wasn't moving. Paula, did you have a question? Zach rejoin. Hey, Zach. Hey, Antoinette. She joined. Hey, hey. Do you have a question? Antoinette did have a question. What should people do to help? What should people? What her question? Antoinette's question is, what would people do? What should people do to help with their electric bills and gas bills? So, what has been suggested is call them and see what can be worked out. I understand that people are saying that as they do call, the electric company and gas company are, if you're a government employee, now, not if you're just Joe Schmo. If you're a government employee and you're out and you're not getting paid, then call them and try to work something out. I hear they are cooperating with people to get those things resolved until they're able to bring money in. What's going on, Patrick? Okay, Antoinette had another question. I'm sorry, my timeline's not moving. Um, Okay, if your question is, are people going to get back paid? Most government workers will get back paid. Some will not. I think it's the contractors who will not get back paid. So that's pretty sad that they won't be able to make up the money that they lost because their contract. But most government employees will get that money back. Okay, Jeff, you did have a question. Hold on here. Um, Jeff, most of the government employees, again, some of them are not getting paid, but have to work. Again, there are food banks around the country that are trying to help people out. My food bank is one of them. Really appreciate your question, Antoinette. Antoinette, why don't you just call in? Call in. The number is 216-673-4408. Call in for me, please. Let me reply to you. Call in. Okay, so how do I go back? This is sort of new. Okay, did I go back? Okay, now we're back. So then, as I was going back down, see if I had more. I did. That's amazing to me. I had so many questions down here, and Couldn't scroll down. Okay, Josh, can anything be done about Josh? I want you to call in. Call in, Josh. I'm sending you the same message. Same message. Call in on the number. Okay. Call in. So I want to hear from you, Josh. Call in. Antoinette, call in. Now y'all can call in at the same time. By the way, so call in. So Josh, I want you to ask that question in person. Jeff, you can call in and ask the question in person. Josh, we got to that. Hey, Joe. Uh, I have a question. Joe? What's your question? What's the question, Joe? Call in or post it on here and I'll read it. Hey, Tiffany. I know you're at work. Hey. So you guys, the lines are open. Call in. 216-673-4408. 216-673-4408. Nobody's called in. So call in and pose those questions. Pose the question. Call in and ask the question. Um, I told you this shutdown is just really affecting people in a lot of different ways. And what is a secondary way that it's affecting people is that so if you have 800,000 employees that are not getting paid, well, those employees have bills to pay, so people are not collecting. You're not buying gas, you're not buying groceries. So those local businesses that are around those communities are suffering as well. Here we go. Here we go. Let's see who this is. Hello. Hey, Josh. Okay, I'm glad you called in. Now, I wanted you to pose your question out loud so everybody could hear you. Okay, you're on speaker as well. But go ahead. I can hear you. I'm just saying you're on speaker as well. But go ahead. Mhm. Mhm. So I was watching some news coverage the other day, and it's like you said, it's been about 2 weeks that this thing probably could have been over. And this person did finally bring up like, where's Mitch McConnell and all of this? So you to me, you ceded the Senate because you said the Senate is not going to operate unless the president signs on. So that means you are an extension of the president. So now we only have two branches of government. We're supposed to have three. Well, we only have one branch of government, or was with the Senate out, because it's the Senate, the White House, and Congress. So we only have two branches of government. If Mitch McConnell is working that closely with the president, which that's not the way it should be, he should offer up bills on the floor, let people vote on, give the president the ability to issue a veto or not. If you're not sending him anything, he can't approve or disapprove of anything. And, and and for a minute, I thought when he initially said that, I said, well, it kind of makes sense if you don't want to just put up stuff just to for an exercise. But now you guys are incumbent. You're not doing your job at all. And I mean, you're not. I don't. I guess they're having some debate on the floor. I got another call here. Hold on, Josh. I'm gonna come back to you. Okay, hold on. Hello. Hey, all right. Yes, we are still on the air. Okay, go ahead. Hold on. Give me 1 second. I got some feedback and give me 1 second. Hold on, guys. Give me 1 second. Absolutely, and even before we won the elections in November, there was a call for Okay, I'm sorry. I'm back. Go ahead. Now, go ahead now. Restate it again for me. Okay, sorry about that. That's okay. Okay, Councilwoman Amy. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, the Community Life and Education Committee
Mm-hmm.
cleaned it up with Cynthia Zucker,
Mm-hmm.
Cynthia on Facebook, Ministry Self-Enhanced Chairperson,
Mm-hmm.
and we are going to, for the furlough workers, the
Mm-hmm.
government shut down furlough workers,
Mm-hmm.
we're having a mobile food pantry,
Mm-hmm.
Saturday, January the 26th,
Mm-hmm.
2019, 5250 Arch Avenue,
Mm-hmm.
Maple Heights, Ohio,
Mm-hmm.
10:30 a.m. to 1 o'clock p.m.
Mm-hmm. You said 10:30 a.m. I'm sorry, 10:30 a.m. Did you say you said 10:30 a.m.?
Yes.
Okay, 10:30 a.m. Uh-huh. To 1 o'clock p.m. Do you have any of my contact information where you can send me that so that I can post it?
Now I have your Facebook information. You want me to send it on your Facebook?
Do that for me. Inbox it to me and then we'll post it because I don't know if you heard our earlier part because we're live on Facebook now. I'm a part of 3 food banks around the Cleveland area, and we have our days, and so we're extending our days to government workers as well. I actually had a story where the last food bank we had a government worker came in, and I was able to sit with her and talk to her about the situation that she was in, and it was a great conversation. So we certainly want to get that information up and out.
Okay, I will inbox it to you.
I appreciate it.
And I'm going to inbox my phone number also.
Absolutely. So let me ask you this: do you have any perspective on the shutdown? Anything concerns you? You want to talk about? Question?
No, I don't have any questions.
Okay. Well, I appreciate it. Send us the information so we can get it out. Okay.
I sure will. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. All right. Sorry, Josh. Go ahead. Okay. Okay, I can hear you. So we had a councilwoman from Maple Heights call in, and she was giving us information about they have a food bank, and they came up with a day. It's to be the 26th from 10:30 to 1, 10:30 to 1, where any government workers, I'm assuming anybody else who needs assistance with food can come. She's going to inbox me that information. We'll get it out. But go ahead, Josh. Hey, Linda. Mm-hmm.
On board with, but Mitch McConnell will not let it come to the floor because Trump won't sign.
Mm-hmm. But that's the thing about the veto proof. If you have the veto proof, then you don't need Trump. So I got a problem with Mitch McConnell working that closely with the president, unless he's just ideologically just in line with Trump, and he believes the same thing Trump believes, and he doesn't want it unless they get a wall as well. Mm-hmm. And it's for me, it's really a shame to see the way that the Republicans are operating under this president. I just thought that some of them would have a backbone and stand up to this guy, but it just doesn't seem like it's happening. My thing with it, Josh, is like I said earlier, we had a food bank a couple weeks ago, and a government employee who was she's an essential employee, and she's working but not getting paid. So she went on Facebook that morning and looked to see what resources she could find, and she ended up at our food bank. And I was able to later sit down and have a conversation with her at a ward club meeting, actually in your ward, Ward 5. And I got to hear from her, what her real situation is. And people think that those government employees have all this money saved up and they're going to be fine. That's not the case. And she was explaining how she's like, she's past the one buffer zone paycheck or whatever. She's past that. So, and that was that Friday that they got the paychecks with the zero amount. So it'll be coming again, I believe, this coming Friday, that she may get another paycheck with a zero amount on it. So what sort of is your outlook just in regards to the shutdown as far as the government workers? What do you think about that?
And I think in that election, agree that there is a need for immigration reform. We can't have everybody coming here and not knowing who's coming and so on and so forth.
Right.
The bottom line is this idea that if you're against the law, you're in favor of open borders is just horse crap.
Mm-hmm. And so what did you think of some of this that went on this week with Nancy Pelosi saying, "Hey, let's look at a different date for the State of the Union," and then Trump canceling her delegation trip, but Melania's flying around on government airplane. Mm-hmm. 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 I mean, then so just I'm being practical about it, and maybe a little partisan, but Nancy Pelosi was going on a diplomatic sort of mission. Melania is going down to Mar-a-Lago. I think you can defend one, but you certainly can't defend the other. If you're gonna say nobody's using government transport and your wife is going to basically vacation spot using government transport, a little hypocritical, I think. Yeah. Yeah. So go ahead.
The bottom line as far as illegal immigration, like we've talked about,
Mm-hmm.
the majority of illegal immigration comes through people overstaying visas.
Mm-hmm.
They get a visa to come here for work or school or tourism, and they don't leave.
And see, that's why I believe that Democrats in Congress have the position that the wall is not worth it, because you're absolutely right. Most of these people or even drugs are coming in through the ports of entry, through airplanes, boats, or whatever. So then the $5 billion on the wall just doesn't make sense. Mm-hmm. So what do you? Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah, because from what I understand, down there on the border, some of the terrain is so rough that you couldn't put a wall on it anyway. So it kind of, I don't know. It kind and even the ones that we do have, they mostly dig under those anyway. So I think. Mm-hmm. And I really, to be honest, I don't think that his trip to the border really helped his argument, because when he went to the border, hold on, you hear what I said? I don't think his trip really helped his argument, because when he went to the border, you didn't see all of this stuff that I believe he wanted you to see, like a long line of people, waiting to cross or get through or whatever. He went to a safe spot, so that when you go down there, you're trying to say it's a national emergency. We didn't see a national emergency based on what we saw on the TV screen, so that really didn't help the argument either. So just really quickly, so we get to the next call. What do you think the end to this thing is? How does this end?
I think at the end of the day, any rational Republican that cares about the people over their party is going to get on board with some veto-proof legislation. Mm-hmm. And they're going to have to have something that's a veto-proof override, because I don't see him either.
Oh, right. Well, hopefully they get it together. I appreciate you calling in. Anytime that we do this, I'd love for you to call in and hear your point of view. Okay? tell Antoinette to call me because she had a question. I didn't answer it, so I wanted to do it on the phone.
Okay.
Okay.
We're about to head to dinner, but I'll let her know.
Okay. All right. Okay, Joe, I think you wanted to call in and talk about your music for a minute. We can certainly take that call. But we are talking about the Women's March today, Martin Luther King Day. What are you doing for Martin Luther King Day? And the government shutdown. Anybody have any stories or an outlook on what's going on with the government shutdown? The call-in number is 216-673-4408, 216-673-4408. We are up on Facebook Live and Instagram Live, so feel free to call in. Let us know if you have any stories, any outlooks. I appreciated the call from the councilwoman from, I believe it was Maple Heights, who gave us the information about their food bank, that they're helping out government workers that are either furloughed or laid off or working for no money. So we had 3 food banks and 3 dates that we put out there. You'll see all this information on our social media platforms. We need to stand with workers. Those people really need us, and they need us to be active and bring this thing to a close. Jeff, you had another question. Jeff, you can call in. I'm gonna give you the number one more time, Jeff. I haven't heard from you anyway. Let me give you the number, Jeff. I want you to call in, okay? Call in. Let me go back to your question. Where you at, Jeff? Now, something is going on with my timeline here on Facebook. Hey, Larry. Hey, what's going on? Hey, you said we removed Trump from office. That would be the best thing. We got 2 more years, so we got to work with the guy for at least 2 more years. We're in a shutdown now, so I don't. This is Larry H. Garner. Let's take this call. Hey, Larry, we are live on the air. What's going on? All right. Did mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I can only imagine. I actually caught you in some of the footage that people were shooting. I actually caught you in some of the footage. I had a previous engagement, so I wasn't able to go. So I'm glad you called in to let us know how that went. So what was sort of the mood? What did you see? Mm-hmm. 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 Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. So our subject matter today is one was the Women's March. So I'm glad you called in. Number 2 was Martin Luther King Day. So I want to hear a little bit about what you're doing for Martin Luther King Day, and then give me a quick synopsis on what you think about the government shutdown. We just had Trump come with another offer, and then the Democrats came with a counter offer. So first, let's start. What are you doing for Martin Luther King Day? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now House Representative Juanita Grant.
Congratulations to her. Congratulations to the three of them. All of them won election.
Celebrating Martin Luther King Day, I'm going to, try to do everything that I possibly can to honor the man and celebrate him and to not just Martin Luther King Day, the day after that, speak about African American lives and the equal rights for everybody's lives, not just African Americans, but other minorities, women, LGBTQ community and everybody else that, deserves a chance.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully attending some events. It's snow on my regular job doesn't keep me from.
Right. And I do want to say really quickly to everybody who's out there traveling, and the weather is kind of bad, so please be careful. Please be careful. Okay, so lastly, the government shutdown. What's your take on that?
It's stupid. Just being out of every person, it's stupid because of the simple fact of the matter is why, and it's not just the 800,000 people that work for the government.
Mm-hmm.
You don't realize something.
Mm-hmm.
That these people have to pay mortgages.
Mm-hmm.
These people have to pay you have to pay taxes. These people have to pay rent,
Mm-hmm.
like gas, utility, food, and their families.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not just talking about just the workers.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about the families of the workers. And
right.
If you're a two-income household and both of you work for the government, it's hard to, it's very hard, especially if you have children, young children, and they've got activities and stuff, and you can't afford it right now. You got to pull out from your 401k.
Right.
You got a mortgage. So like 75 to 85% of Americans got a mortgage to pay, and they're paying it, So it's not just affecting them.
Mm-hmm.
If you go back a couple of years ago, in the Broadway area, like 55th and the Broadway, where LTV was. LTV still. LTV, everybody had a job.
Mm-hmm.
Not only the men had work at LTV still, but the women had a job at the local Kmart, the team got a job at the local finance, which started the tops.
Mm-hmm.
When LTV shut down or went bankrupt, all those workers were put out of had to go home.
Mm-hmm.
All those prominent stores had to go home because nobody was shopping there because nobody had any money.
I mean, it affects the economy. And I don't know if you heard us earlier. We had in our food bank earlier this month, we had a lady come in who was one of those employees that were actually, she's named as a essential employee, and she was working. And that Friday, the day before, she got a check with zero amount on it. And she's letting us know it's pretty hard for her. Larry, let me take this phone call. We're going to post up your TV show, your radio show information so people can get in. But I got another call coming through, okay? All right. Thank you. Hello?
Hey, baby.
Hey, what's going on?
Great. How you?
All right.
I'm here in D.C. We done, it was the Women's March,
Mm-hmm.
and something's going on Monday, the 21st.
Mm-hmm.
The people who's running for president, the vice president's going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Want all the people who they thought run for president is going to be at this hotel on Monday from 8:30 to 5:30.
Mm-hmm. And this is in Washington?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. If you can do me a favor, if you have that in text somewhere, if you can inbox that to me on any of the social media platforms, we can get that information put out. So you're in DC now?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you attend the Women's March?
I did attend the Women's March yesterday. We had about half of the whole city rally across the White House and went.
Okay. For the shutdown.
Every person who lives in DC, they are coming to the representatives.
Okay.
In Ohio, they have 6,000 people who work for the federal government. 6,000 and 6,000. From Ohio. have a friend who works for the federal government.
Mm-hmm.
She can be paid her tuition for college. She can't pay her more. She can't pay her car note.
Mm-hmm.
And and we just don't understand why he's doing because and why should the taxpayer have to pay for it? We should not have to pay for that.
Yeah, this thing is serious.
And you remember that? Why don't you pay for it?
Mm-hmm.
So why does she want to? Because just like they say, he having a temper tantrum right now.
Mm-hmm.
Because if he don't go his way, or I'm having a temper tantrum, I'm acting like a 5-year-old kid. I'm having a temper tantrum, and it shut down the whole government.
Mm-hmm.
And because the name of my organization called the National Black Death Advocate.
Mm-hmm.
Half of our deaf members
Mm-hmm.
is working for the federal government, and they don't know how they're going to pay their bills.
So are they working for free? Are they furloughed or?
They're working for free.
Wow.
While getting paid. While getting paid.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And I mean, I had a lady, her mother can't even pay for her medicine. Okay, so you got people who can't even pay for their medicine.
Wow. Well, do me a favor. That information that you gave us, please inbox that to me so we can get that up on our social media platforms. I appreciate the job that you're doing for us in DC. When are you gonna come back to Cleveland really quickly?
I'm coming back to Cleveland
In
in 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
Yeah.
All right, buddy. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Okay.
And I love to hear it's crazy up here.
Mm-hmm.
We got 13 years of snow up here, but that still ain't going to stop me for people fighting for the people. And
Right.
it's just they give me paper of medicine.
Mm-hmm.
And we try everything we can in my organization to help these people who are hearing impaired, deaf, blind, who have any kind of disability to help them to we get that fund and another fund or another organization who's going to partner with us to help them to help other people who got a job.
Okay. Well, again, I appreciate the work that you're doing. Keep us informed, and we'll see you when you get back. We got to move on to the next call. All right. Thank you.
Okay.
So as you can see, it's real. We got another caller coming in. Let's see who this is. Hello.
Yes, hello.
Yeah, is this still you, Larry?
Yes, it is.
Okay, hold on. I got another call coming in. Hold on. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Hey, how you doing?
All right.
It is Johnny.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, how you doing?
All right.
Okay, I was watching you on the live and I was seeing you busy, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's Johnny.
I know who it is.
How you doing?
Because I can tell the voice. So I understand you wanted to come on and talk about your music a little bit. Just so you know, we had three subjects we were talking about. The Women's March today that went on, Martin Luther King Day, what are you doing for that? And then the government shutdown, how that's affecting people. But go ahead and tell us a little bit about your music. I do want to tell you, you've already inboxed me information, so we'll be getting that out on our social media platforms so people can get your information there. But go ahead.
They call me Johnny Boy. Actually, I go from Golden Boy, so I made this Johnny Boy the Golden Boy. So I kind of been doing music like forever, I know you probably hear what I was saying in the church and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I know you part of a band with Johnny Shine and
Mm-hmm.
so I work with them time to time.
Mm-hmm.
SoundCloud, but I work with other different artists and creators and stuff like that. And I've been working with a friend of mine named Creations.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Cafe on EC.
Mm-hmm.
They start, you know, it was really interesting. I just love to do music. And also, I think I seen the link they got on Monday. It was a friend of mine that came up with it.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't want to sing it or whatever because he felt he couldn't sing. So he asked me what it is, but he just like sing the hook or whatever. And
Mm-hmm.
I kind of thought it was catchy. I'm like, yeah, thank God I'm in there. And
Mm-hmm.
you know, and he was interested in me. So after that, I was like, oh, I like it. And you know, I just wrote to it. And then from there, when I was still in school,
Mm-hmm.
a couple of video directors recorded me and shot videos for me and stuff like that. So that's what
Mm-hmm. So when is the next time you performing? Are you performing for Martin Luther King Day?
not right now, but it's just I've just been really kind of busy right now with my father and stuff like that. So,
Mm-hmm. And how's he doing?
but no, I'm not having so far.
And how's your father doing?
He's doing good. He's doing well.
Good. Good. Okay, so like I said, do me a favor. You already sent us the link to the music, but if you have any dates when you're performing, send that information to us and we'll share it on our social media platforms, okay?
Okay, thank you very much.
All right, thank you for calling in.
No problem.
Mm-hmm. Larry.
Yeah.
All right. So I had two calls in the meantime. So we got to what you thought of the shutdown. When is your next show? Let's do a plug real quick. When is your next show?
My next show is Thursday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. on voicesradio.com. My guest will be the cast of The Land FAU.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the new cop show that's based on the Cleveland, Ohio on 19 Action, on 19 News. So yeah, the whole cast is coming to
Oh, wow.
my show.
That should be good. So I do want to try to book something with you on the next show, which I think will be the following week, because we at the Urban League are going to try to do something next Saturday around the shutdown, and then so how that goes, if we're still in the shutdown, I want to come in and talk about that, and maybe some other stuff. So if we could look at a date after next week, how does that sound?
Okay, that's cool.
Okay. Well, all right, Larry. Thank you for calling in.
No problem. Thank you for having me call in.
All right. All right, so again, you guys can call in. We're still open. The number is 216-673-4408, 216-673-4408. Call in. Let us know what is it that give me email. I'll give you my email. What is it that you think about the government shutdown, the Women's March, and MLK Day? What are people doing for MLK to celebrate Dr. Martin Luther King? I am giving a speech on that day. The backdrop is would Dr. King be proud or disappointed in Black leadership in Cleveland, Ohio? So I'll be talking about that. I want to really thank everybody who called in. I really wanted to get a feel for what was going on with the Women's March. We heard from somebody in D.C. We heard from somebody who actually went to the one here in Cleveland. What was going on with people, how they felt about the government shutdown. We got some information about that, which we'll be getting out on our social media platforms. And again, you know what I'm doing for MLK Day. Follow me on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, um, Twitter. We got a YouTube page. So we'll try to get some of this content up on YouTube. We haven't been on there in a while as far as our channel, but look out for that. If you have any information about the shutdown, Martin Luther King Day, those things are coming up. Even if you have pictures um, from the Women's March, inbox them to me, and we will try to post those up as we get them in. So and Johnny Duncan will be looking for your upcoming dates. I have your email. Got it. Oh no, that is Richard, I believe. We got your email. Anybody else before we sign off? Anybody else want to call in, have comments about our three subjects of the day: the Women's March, Martin Luther King Day, and the government shutdown? We want to make sure that people are using hashtag in the shutdown, hashtag in the shutdown, because we stand with our government workers I don't know if you saw on our social media platforms, we did save our snap, save our snap. We had people who were at our food bank that will be affected by the fact that in February there won't be any SNAP resources. The government is still closed. So we want to encourage you to do that. Write, make a poster, right on there in the shutdown. Take a picture, send it in to us, and we'll post it. Obviously, use the hashtag in the shutdown right on the poster. Save our snap in the shutdown. Take a picture of yourself holding it, or somebody takes a picture of you. Send it in to us. Inbox me on Facebook, inbox me on Instagram, and we will send those pictures back out. We want to stand with our government workers. Um, just to recap the information that we have that's going out, we'll have a food bank that we're adding for government workers. Once I get that information in, I'll send it back out. But right now, we on February the 7th, We Care Outreach Ministries over at the historic Greater Friendship Baptist Church. Amos Berry is the CEO over there. 12305 Arlington Avenue, Cleveland, Ohio 44108. They will have their food bank the first Thursday of the month. Government workers can go there. Anybody can go there, but especially government workers. They'll be open from 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. Then the second Saturday of February will be our food bank, Master Generosity Unlimited. That will be Mount Gilead Missionary Baptist Church, 7025 Cedar Avenue, Cleveland, Ohio, 44115, I believe. 44115, I believe. So, and then we open at 9 a.m. and close at 11 a.m. Then there is the Harvard Square Center. Lester DeVise Sr. is the CEO over there. That address is 13408. 13510. 13510. Sorry. Say it again. 13510 Harvard Avenue, Cleveland, Ohio, 44115. And that will be the second Tuesday of February. They are open from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Feel free to go to any one of these food banks if you need resources, and we'll be glad to help you. So, if we don't have any more questions, we're going to sign off now. Again, I appreciate everybody who signed on, tuned in and paid and gave their comments. All the people who called in, thank you so much. Hopefully, we gave out relevant information. We will continue to take questions and answer them. Just inbox me on Facebook, inbox me on Instagram or Twitter, and we'll answer those questions. We'll get relevant information out, as I said, on our social media platforms. Again, thank you guys for tuning in.